The wind on Xylos 4 didn't just blow, it screamed. It carried not just dust and grit, but raw plasma, turning the very air into a howling incandescent forge. They called it the Storm of Ethel. And for 95% of the Galactic Quadrant, it was a death sentence. For me, Jake Riley, it was Tuesday. And frankly, it was a hell of a lot of fun. My shelter was a natural cave, reinforced with salvaged durasteel and thermal shielding. Inside, it was a cozy den of organized chaos, a battered comms unit, a flickering holoprojector, and my trusty particle rifle, old reliable, propped against a stack of rock stabilizers. Outside, the world was pure, unadulterated fury. Blue lightning snaked across the cavern entrance, illuminating the raging tempest beyond. The ground thrum of the bass note of electromagnetic energy, and every now and then, a superheated plasma bolt would impact the rock face, sending tremors through my very bones. I sat cross-legged, tuning up old reliable, a grin stretching across my face. The storm's energy, a chaotic symphony of power, didn't hurt me. It energized me. Years ago, a terraforming accident on a rogue moon had left me changed. My internal bioelectric field, once just a weak spark, now resonated with atmospheric plasma. It was like plugging myself directly into a cosmic power grid. Every lightning strike outside was a jolt of pure exhilaration, a caffeine rush combined with the best extreme sports thrill you could imagine. My laughter wasn't madness. It was pure, unadulterated joy. Woo! That's a good one. I chuckled as a particularly massive bolt lit the cave mouth, throwing my shadow in stark relief against the glowing blues and purples. Old Xylo still got it. That's when she burst in. She didn't just enter. She exploded into my cave, a whirlwind of motion and raw, desperate terror. She was tall, lithe, with long, dark hair that streamed behind her like a tattered flag. Her skin was a dusky, almost purple-tinged gray, and from her head sprang a pair of magnificent pointed ears, like a predator's. She wore minimal clothing, a striped bikini top and an ornate, tribal-looking belt, both clinging to a figure that was all muscle and grace. Her movements were jerky, panicked, her wide, luminous eyes filled with pure, unadulterated fear. She was clearly of the Xylosian species, the native inhabitants of this world, known for their deep spiritual connection to its raw, untamed nature. And right now, their nature was trying to kill her. She slammed against the far wall, breathing hard, her chest heaving. Her eyes, wide and wild, darted around the cave, scanning for threats, for safety. Then they landed on me. I was still grinning, old reliable resting casually across my lap. The plasma storm outside flared, painting me in electric blue, and I was still laughing. Her eyes narrowed, her fear, somehow, morphed into a look of utter bewilderment, then suspicion, then a hint of something that looked dangerously like primal rage. She saw the storm, the raw power Xylos 4, trying to rip itself apart. And she saw me, a human, sitting there, armed, alive, and laughing. This is fun to him. The thought, sharp and incredulous, seemed to pierce the roaring of the storm and echo in my mind. Whoa there, easy now, I said, raising my free hand slowly, a gesture of peace. Just catching some cover from the storm. You too, I guess. She growled a low, guttural sound that vibrated with raw power. Her eyes, which were striking amber, fixed on my rifle, then on the faint, pulsating glow that now emanated from my skin, a side effect of my plasma absorption. Something I usually kept shielded. To her, it probably looked like I was radiating pure storm energy. Human, she hissed, her voice raspy, alien, but laced with a clear accusation. You enjoy this torment? Torment. I cocked an eyebrow. Nah, it's just Xylos letting off some steam. Pretty spectacular, right? I gestured vaguely toward the cave mouth, where another colossal bolt split the sky. She flinched, instinctively recoiling. Her eyes widened, a flicker of something new mixing with her fear. Incomprehension. The Xylosians, I knew, viewed these storms as sacred trials, manifestations of the planet's wrath or cleansing power. They endured them with stoicism and reverence, seeking shelter in deep, hushed meditation. My open absorption and gleeful reaction was, To her, an utterly blasphemous, horrifying spectacle. "You are corrupted," she whispered, her voice tinged with a mix of revulsion and awe. "The storm consumes you, yet you do not scream." "Consumes me? Nah, it feeds me," I corrected a bit too cheerfully. "Gets the old blood pumping. Good for the soul." She stared, utterly baffled. Her gaze dropped to her own arm, which was bleeding from a deep gash, likely from flying debris. Her body was trembling, not just from cold, but from exhaustion and trauma. "Look, you're hurt," I said, putting my rifle down carefully and reaching for my medkit. "Let me patch you up." She reacted instantly, a blur of motion, her hand flashing out and snatching a jagged piece of rock from the cave floor. She held it like a dagger, her amber eyes blazing with warning. "Stay back, creature. You're aberration, it frightens me." "Aberration? Lady, I'm just a guy who knows how to ride a plasma storm." I sighed, slowly opening my medkit. "Relax. I'm a medic. Or I used to be, just trying to help." "No!" she gasped, but her strength was gone. "Just relax," I murmured, settling her against a warmer, shielded wall. I cleaned her wound, sterilized it with biogel, and patched it up with SynSkin. She watched my every move, her amber eyes wide, wary, but no longer actively hostile. She was observing, learning. Lyra stared, transfixed. Her fear had vanished, replaced by an expression profound, almost terrified awe. She saw not madness, but an incredible, utterly alien power. She saw a human, not just surviving the storm, but dancing with it. Her people sought to endure it. I embraced it. The storm, as if exhausted by its own fury, began to recede. The blue lightning faded, the wind softened, and the ground stopped trembling. The cave held. I stood, panting, drained but alive, a faint blue glow still clinging to my skin. Lyra slowly got to her feet, her amber eyes never leaving me. Her wound was sealed. Her fear was gone. "The breath of Ethel, it did not purify you, human," she whispered, her voice filled with wonder. "It embraced you. You are the storm now, a living legend." I just shrugged, picking up my rifle, just a guy who enjoys a good storm. "Guess you found something else out here besides shelter, huh?" She looked at me, then back out at the now calming landscape, a new understanding dawning in her eyes. "I fled the storm," she said, her voice softer, "and found a human alive, armed and laughing. And now, I find I no longer fear the storm so much. Or humans. My exile on Xylos 4 suddenly felt a lot less lonely. I had nothing to lose. But it turned out, the universe still had surprises to offer. And sometimes, those surprises came in the form of a terrifying storm and a fiercely beautiful alien who thought your strange joy was the most incredible thing she'd ever seen.